Winds, they do play a role in the development of storms, and they're pretty swift and active, and those carry little disturbances that zip through the Mississippi Valley in the southeast, and that's going to be part of the mix in the overall storm expectations. But through the forecast and focus, through about sunrise, we'll stay quiet, but it will start to turn more overcast, and then we'll get one of those first rounds of isolated storms. Not particularly concerning, but there could be times where the winds pick up a little bit and they could sweep right across the I-10 corridor. Into the afternoon, a modest break in the activity, still some peaks of sun amid the clouds. And then with a front that's nearby that will begin to move back to the north, it will trigger spotty isolated rain and a couple thunderstorms. The severe weather risk for tomorrow is rather minimal, but it can't be totally discounted. It's going to be Sunday when we start to notice more of the action in the atmosphere, the way the air moves and the moisture moves, and a stronger disturbance that starts to impact the Mississippi Valley. So that's where the initial widespread areas of storms will likely be Sunday morning. Not so much here, although we could be clipped by maybe a couple of briefly strong storms. And then into the afternoon hours, you get the heating going on, you get a little more of that wind force and a closer approach of that low pressure system. So we could see that storm risk spread deeper into southwest Georgia in particular and the tri-state region. That will start to be the concern, especially across our interior areas for Sunday night. And then as that low zips out of the region eventually, we'll start to see the storm risk diminish somewhat into your Monday morning. But this may take a slightly more south track than the system that we had last weekend will, so maybe that is going to be a concern when it comes to just the extent of severe weather here. We didn't have a lot of tornadoes last weekend, and I don't suspect we'll have a huge outbreak here, but we will have these occasional waves even on Sunday morning as that warm air starts to push back into the region. That will trigger a few storms, and then more organized clusters of storms start to move into the western side of Georgia, and some of those will reach the southwest Georgia corner, and then a trail of thunderstorms starts to move in early Monday morning. And within that line, there could be those occasions where a few spin-up tornadoes can occur, and the winds will gust outward ahead of that. So that's going to be the main concern that we'll have. And it's going to be almost very similar timing to what we had 1 week ago. That moves out of our region by Monday midday, and we'll start to settle things down. So the risk also contains some heavier rain. Seems like the highest rain totals will be well north of the region, but we may accumulate maybe 1 to 3 inches in some cases here, with a little more concern for maybe the wind gust threat. So numerous severe thunderstorms are possible on Sunday through Sunday night and early Monday morning across southern Georgia and the state line region, isolated in our own region. But again, just keep in mind on Sunday night and through Monday morning, the highest risk will be from those gustier winds, which we will be tracking very closely throughout the weekend.